Good evening. Let us discuss today's current affairs. Tokegeko, T-O-K-A-I-G-E-C-K-O. Tokegeko. Tokegeko is protected under Schedule 3 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Tokegeko is protected under Schedule 3 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972. It was a lizard species which was found in illegal trade in India. Yesterday, BSF Jawans in Bengal caught this illegal trade, Tokegeko's illegal trade. Tokegeko is a lizard species. It is also there in the IUCN, and in India it is Schedule 3 of Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. Next important news, as we all know, India is going for elections in 2019 and Model Code of Conduct will come before elections. Election Commission of India launched Model Code of Conduct Violation App, Model Code of Conduct Violation Reporting App, where it brings citizen awareness, citizen participation, ensures corruption-free elections, and also ensures that any malpractice in elections will be actually taken care of by sending a message so that malpractices can be minimized. This app, mobile app, is first of its kind to ensure free and fair elections in India. As you all know, free and fair elections are the backbone of democracy. If democracy has to survive, people should have right to choose good representatives. That choice is possible when the elections are foolproof and the election process is foolproof. As you all know, Article 324 to 329 of the Indian Constitution, Article 324 to 329 of the Indian Constitution deals with Election Commission, and also Representation of People's Act deals with Code of Conduct, notification, all those things. We have a law relating to election called Representation of People's Act. Apart from that, there was a news. In Telangana, most of the people who were booked under POCSO Act, Protection of Children from Child Sexual Abuses Act, they were scot-free. They were not being convicted. Here you should know what is POCSO. POCSO, Protection of Children from Child Sexual Offences, enshrines that any sexual assault, either penetrative assault, non-penetrative assault, any sexual assault below the age of, if the assault is made on a child means here below the age of 18 years, or either a male child or a female child, then it is considered. And sexual assault is defined, child sexual offences are defined, child pornography is defined, and all these are offences. And the entire trial will be conducted in camera. In camera means closed proceedings. Entire trial will be conducted in camera. In camera proceedings means closed. CLOSED, closed proceedings, means the trial will not be allowed to come out, and common man will not be allowed to enter into the trial room. That's called in camera proceedings. And the next thing is very important news for civil services aspirants. The PMO, Prime Minister's Office, wrote a letter to DOPT, Department of Personnel and Training, that cadre and service allocation for civil services, the students who pass the exam, will be done after foundation course. The comments of all ministries are sought in this regard. It is not finalized. It is not finalized, but the comments are sought. In one way, it is good that the marks in the foundation course and people's interest to work in the rural areas also count. But again, there might be a subjectivity in that. Let us see what will happen. You need not worry about this. Next important article in today's newspaper, again Nipah virus. Nipah virus is in big picture now, and we are having many things on Nipah virus. Let us discuss on Nipah virus. Yesterday also we have discussed on Nipah virus. Nipah virus have a very high multiplication capacity, mutation capacity. 70% of the people who get this virus will die. 70% of the people. And those who live have a lot of symptoms, inflammatory brain and lot of health problems, encephalitis, all these things. And it's an RNA virus, ribonucleic acid virus, RNA virus, and you all know it was caused by fruit bat. One of the important hosts is fruit bat. It will be transmitted from animal to animal, or animal to human, or animal to human. So we should also know Nipah virus, which is a very dangerous virus which affected in Kerala, and Kerala is seeking the help of World Health Organization, WHO. Next important news is in Venezuela. Venezuela is a country in South America. Venezuela is a oil-rich country. Earlier, the entire economy of Venezuela is dependent on oil exports. In South America, it's an oil-producing country. And earlier, we used to have the Venezuelan president Hugo Chavez. He actually brought many socialist reforms. As Venezuela had got very good oil resources, the income is being distributed in social welfare schemes. But unfortunately, 2 years back, oil prices have come down and Venezuelan economy got tumbled. Venezuelan currency Bolivar, B-O-L-I-V-A-R, Bolivar, got into heavy inflation, and finally Venezuela almost became a bankrupt country. And the Nicolas Maduro got re-elected as Venezuelan president in spite of lot of humanitarian and economic crises in Venezuela. When some country comes into the news, when there was a news about a country, you should locate the country in the geography atlas. You should also see the bordering countries. The Venezuelan capital is Caracas, and the bordering countries Colombia, Brazil, Guyana. Colombia, Brazil and Guyana. So these are the bordering countries of Venezuela. Next important article, keeping each other on edge. Keeping each other on edge. As you all know, theory of separation of powers is given by Montesquieu, M-O-N-T-E-S-Q-U-I-E-U. He wrote the book called The Spirit of the Laws. In that, you all know there are three branches of government: legislature, executive and judiciary. Legislature will make the law, executive will implement the law, judiciary will interpret the law. Sometimes one organ will encroach into the domain of other organ. As you all know, each organ should function and should also coordinate. As Lord Wolf said, the three organs of the state form a chain. Each chain should be perfect, should not actually get loosened. So each chain should work. And in this article, they have discussed about England and also India. You need not read entire article. If you know separation of powers is enough. And next important article, this is an interview with Australian Foreign Affairs Minister. And the Foreign Affairs Minister of Australia told that Australia is very much interested in participating Malabar joint exercises. As you all know, Malabar exercise is basically between India and America, and sometimes Japan also participate. Malabar joint exercise is between India and America, sometimes Japan also participate. Now Australia is also interested in participating Malabar exercise. And you all know, we have formed a group called Quad, Q-U-A-D, also called as Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. It has India, America, Japan and Australia. Openly it is for security of the region, but its aim is, one of the aim of Quad is to counter China. As you all know, China is entering into oceans and seas, and China is claiming almost the entire South China Sea, and the other nations want rule-based international architecture and China should be controlled. One of the astounding objectives of Quad, which is not told openly, was to control China in the South China Sea. Apart from that, there is an article on North Korea, Kim Jong-un and American talks. We all thought that the talks will be held between Trump and Kim on June 12th. Now there is no probability, and the getting back of Trump with Kim definitely help for the peace of the world. Let us see, they will bring peace to the world very soon. Today's lead article in Hindu. The fading appeal of soft power. FADING. Fading means losing. Appeal of soft power. It's a very beautiful article on foreign policy of India. India is losing its soft power appeal. In international relations, there are two words which you should remember. Soft power and hard power. Soft power means giving loans, aids, allowing refugees, sending diplomats, sending gifts, helping the other nations is called soft power. Hard power means imposing sanctions, threatening, aggression, war, all those things comes under hard power. There are two approaches, soft power approach, hard power approach. Actually, there is one more word called smart power. SMART, smart power. Using soft power or hard power according to the requirement of the position is called smart power. Using soft power or hard power according to the requirement of position is called smart power. Is India stopped becoming soft power and is it becoming hard power? This is the question. And the author wrote recent examples. First example, he discussed about Rohingyas. As you all know, Indian government decided to send back Rohingya refugees. Rohingyas actually belong to Myanmar, Rakhine province, and they were Muslims. They were Muslim minorities. And in Myanmar, there was a Buddhist majority. And Myanmar, according to the Myanmar's version, Burmese version, Rohingyas basically belong to Bangladesh. But now they have settled down in Myanmar. And they are facing serious human rights problems in Myanmar. Worst form of human rights abuse in Myanmar. In such a scenario, they started taking help of other countries. They started going to other countries. India traditionally extended helping hands to the refugees. Chekma refugees, Jewish refugees, Tamilian refugees, even the refugees from Tibet, including Dalai Lama. But now India is steadfast, very strong against Rohingyas. So from soft power, India is becoming hard power. This is one argument. Second argument is India drifting away from NAM? NAM means non-alignment movement. NAM means non-alignment movement. After the Second World War, the world entered into Cold War phase. Cold War is an indirect war. It started almost after Second World War and it got completed, but I think not yet completed. It got completed to the maximum extent by 1991 with the disintegration of Soviet Union. Cold War is between capitalism and communism. America and Western European countries are capitalist countries. Soviet Union and Eastern European countries are called communist countries. The indirect war between these two ideologies is called Cold War. And NAM was born as a product of Cold War because the newly independent countries in India and Africa, they don't want to participate in Cold War politics. Nehru of India, Nasser of Egypt, Tito of Yugoslavia, Sukarno of Indonesia, they are all the founding fathers of NAM. And India is the leader of the NAM. 2 years back in 2016, for 17th NAM Summit, which was held at Margarita Islands, Venezuela, Modi have not attended. Instead, he sent Hamid Ansari, the then Vice President. Now again the question, is India is going and favoring US and US does not like NAM, so India have not attended NAM Summit. This was the argument. Next thing is SAARC. The article also mentioned about a group called SAARC. SAARC, S-A-A-R-C, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. SAARC was formed in the year 1985. SAARC was formed in the year 1985. There are 8 countries in SAARC: India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Maldives and Afghanistan. But SAARC is not properly functioning. According to the author, India should have worked for the effective working of SAR. Instead, India is forming groups with other countries. Finally, the traditional civilizational values, the political idealism, and the culture of tolerance, culture of acceptance is being diminished. But still, whether the shifting of foreign policy from idealism to realism in the real politics, will it do and promote national interest of India or not? We have to wait and watch. Thank you.